That should be fun.
Pee is stored in the balls.
As long as Derek can, pull his head out of his ass over here.
Right, like, because I'm scrolling, I'm just making sure we didn't miss anything. I'm looking through our conversation, making sure we didn't miss anything. That's all. I'm ready when you boys are.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dudes?
Living the dream, but not in that like self-deprecating way.
No doubt. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in this week. One Fall WrestleCast. Check us out over on YouTube. Hit that little like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave some comments. Tom likes to get a little rowdy on the old YouTube thing. Check us out Twitter, Instagram at _fall WC. That's ONE. Derek, you doing some things over on the Tweeter, pal?
No. I actually had a question.
Both of you have
I was raising my hand. Why do I have to unmute my own mic, sir? Am I the fucking guest host?
Because for some reason you have this like superpower that during the intro music that you can just talk and the rest of us can't. So I have to mute you prior to going in, and it still doesn't work. I just don't.
I don't know.
I mean, are you not going to hit your gimmick? Oh, happy to be here.
No, I'm not very happy this week.
Shut up, Peter Puffer. Nobody cares.
I'm tired. It's late.
Jesus.
You're out there actually making money for your family
minutes.
Like an asshole.
Yeah.
We don't got time for your BS, Walt.
Nobody cares about your feelings, Derek.
It's 45 minutes. 45
nobody
minutes.
cares.
It's supposed to be 8 o'clock.
Nobody cares.
45 minutes, like, because I asked, like, hey, guys, can we go to 8 o'clock? Because, like, I want to start having beers early. Anyway.
Well, I mean, let's just hate Tom for wanting to spend time with his family. How terrible was that, right?
No,
I hung out with him earlier.
I wanted to spend time with my family today, too, but,
Later. Yeah. Walt likes his family.
You don't get to do that. You work in the restaurant.
Yeah, well, I'm going to burn that fucking place down.
I did buy lanterns for outside today that'll be like fire. Hopefully.
It's very adult.
They might not be fire. They might just be little lights. But anyway.
No, but that's good.
Exterior lighting. That's how you know you're an adult.
Yeah, right? Get excited about lighting. Exterior lights.
Exterior lighting.
Yes.
Spend money on it.
Yeah. We bought some little exterior lighting a couple of months ago, and it was like the highlight of our life for the summer. It's like, oh, this is gonna look so nice. Now the weeds are growing around them. I haven't been able to cut the grass in like 2 weeks.
The weed whacker. You got a weed whack around.
I can't even cut the grass. I haven't had time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I feel you.
Excuses.
Hey,
I got out there today, and I was
talking to Tom. I'm not talking to you, bud.
Yeah, let's talk about wrestling.
3 minutes, and there's not been any wrestling.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Okay, we don't talk about wrestling, Derek, for the first 5 minutes anyways, because we kind of get our salutations out of the way. We talk, we catch up for a hot second. Maybe if some of us, were on time week after week, we would be able to do this before show. But the one time I'm late and you want to nail me to a fucking wall.
Walt's salty tonight.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I had a turd sideways, and I was taking care of that, all right? I'm sorry.
All right, well, I mean, whatever fucking floats your boat, pal.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Okay, is that okay, Derek?
So you know what, guys? I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me tonight.
I can't stand you.
What do we have on the docket?
All right, so how about let's go ahead and start this thing off with the second biggest flub of the year for WWE, right? So Adam Cole's contract apparently expired in July, and he's kind of just working on a handshake deal right now.
What the hell, baby?
How do you let something like this happen? Like, this guy is like the like premier talent for NXT, right?
He's the second coming of Shawn Michaels. How do you let this go?
You know what I'm saying? Like, this might actually be worse than the Aleister Black thing.
Adam Cole was like maybe gonna be the champ again before they realized, oh, shit, his contract's up.
Yeah, we should probably not put a belt on him without a signed agreement.
They literally had him stare down Karrion Kross and cut him to shreds with a promo. Like, you get Smoke and the girl. All they need to do for me to make me feel special is ring the bell.
Yeah, that was fire though.
And then literally, like, his contract expired like the next day. and it was like, oh, oops, maybe we shouldn't put the. And then they continued to bury Karrion Kross anyway, because he also lost on Raw this week. Although he did win last week, but he lost to Keith Lee, who I love Keith Lee, so
Who was
it
also
was a good match.
Who was also buried. So I mean, we're splitting hairs.
It's just everybody's buried. Everybody's underground right now, but it's okay.
But I read a thing today, right? And I'm scrolling the Twitter, right? And there was a comment that said, smart marks, these guys want to run around here, and if their guy doesn't win, he's buried. And if the guy that they don't like wins, they're trying to jam him down our throat. No, there's a difference, bud. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have a guy that you spent the last 3 years building up in NXT to be the next world beater, and then you bring him up to Monday Night Raw, and you make him take a fall to Jeff Hardy.
He's 2-1.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Like, guy was undefeated, and now he's 2-1 on the main roster.
It's absolutely absurd.
He's got a losing record right now.
But anyways, let's circle back to Adam Cole, right? So, like, how do you let something like this happen?
That guy got fired. Whomever was like kind of in charge of the talent relations there, they fired him.
Oh, shocking. WWE fired somebody.
Yeah, right.
I know. I mean, that's not even a thing anymore.
They didn't want to fire.
I think it was just a budget cut. I don't think he was actually in trouble. That's probably what it was.
Apparently they threw money at Adam Cole like a lot, like lately. He's like, nope, no thanks. So I don't know if anybody has like thoughts about the fuck up like backstage, but I have thoughts about like Adam Cole on a personal level. Oh yeah,
go on, baby.
So if I'm Adam Cole, which I'm not, clearly, he's a much better wrestler than I could ever be. But if I'm Adam Cole, I look at what's happened now with WWE and with NXT and with the constant firings, including the firing of Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman and Aleister Black, everybody else. And you look at it and you go, all right, well, at this point, I've done everything I can do in NXT, right? I mean, he's been all the champions. Right, he's been the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Was it twice?
Yes.
One of them was the longest reign period in ever. He was the North American champion. He was. I don't know if they count him being the tag team champion, although I feel like within Freebird rule he defended it at least once.
I mean, it counts.
We're going to count it to me.
We're going to count it.
Yeah, it counts to me. I don't know if they counted on like officially, but it counts, right? So he's done all the things in NXT, and from his perspective, the only way up is to the main roster, right? Like to be, go be Intercontinental Champion or the U.S. Champion, and then be eventually the heavyweight champion of the world. However,
who wants to fucking do that?
After everything that's happened, especially because Adam Cole is his name, after everything that's happened, like, how does he not immediately think, this is going to go poorly for me, and I'm just going to shut up about this contract and let it go? And let it expire. And on a handshake says, I'll stay through SummerSlam. I want to finish what I'm doing with my friend, Kyle O'Reilly, which is clearly like a premier match. Like they've got it, they pumped it up, they booked it. They're screwed now, right? Like they have to let this happen.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to leave because why would I let WWE bury me and take my talent? Like the guy is like the premier talent, right? We said this earlier. You said this earlier. The guy he's the Shawn Michaels, right? He could be the biggest star in the world. And he's already one of them. And why would I do that and let them bury me on the main roster, especially while Vince appears to be on his way out? So,
I mean, something's happening, right? Like,
right? They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell. They dumped Bray Wyatt's salary, for God's sake. They're going to sell. Something's gonna happen. So, from his perspective, my fiance, who I love dearly, is over in AEW right now. As are a ton of my friends, people who I have not only friendships with and connections with, but like wrestling history with. Remember, he was kicked out of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, he was.
And that's intertwined into the main title storyline right now.
It is.
So he was kicked out of the Bullet Club, and so if you're Adam Cole and you go, all right, I'm in the prime of my career, and there's a promotion where my soon-to-be wife is in. She is the champion, and she's over as hell, doing basically shtick that, like, let's face it, Adam Cole gave her pointers, right, to get over. Like, she does Adam Cole stuff, particularly promo-wise. She does Adam Cole stuff.
Oh yeah,
She's come a long way.
Right, and it's obvious, and it's well received. He would be as well. She's the best champion in AEW right now, and it would be well received if he shows up and does similar things, but in the men's scape of things. And then, like, how is that not just like the lowest hanging fruit of, like, oh, they're gonna bury me here, my contract's up, they didn't notice, I could go here and be, you know, a huge star, continue to be a huge star on a show that gets a little bit more ratings, and I could help it get even more ratings on, you know, TNT or TBS or wherever it ends up. And, you know, when my contract expires there, whatever that is, 3-4 years from now, Vince will be retired. They'll have sold WWE. I can go to the main roster if I want and do the same thing there. Like, he's young enough that his, you know, the world is his oyster, and it's not an open shut door. And, you know, he's already in with Triple H and Stephanie and everybody, and they're probably pissed at the whole main roster situation as well, and they would totally understand. So if I'm Adam Cole, I'm not signing anything WWE puts in front of me. I don't care if it's for $1 billion.
Absolutely not.
Like, I don't care if it's for $1 billion. I'm gonna leave, and I'll be like, I'll see you guys later. Like, I'll be back. You know, I'll pull a Ric Flair.
I mean, he's in his prime,
right?
He's got to go right now. You're going to get the most money possible on this contract.
Yeah, you get your most money possible, and especially because you know that, like, you're gonna get buried otherwise. Like, otherwise, you're gonna be squandered. So it's like,
and honestly,
well,
there's no job security right now.
No, none. They're gonna sell.
Absolutely nothing that has happened recently makes me, as a performer, feel comfortable.
If you're not
even
already,
if I'm not like Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, I'm not.
I mean, even at that point, you don't even know. The only person that I think at this point in time that's safe is Roman Reigns. I don't think that anybody in that locker room's safe right now. This nut job that they've got running the company, Nick Khan, is just out here he was given one job. Vince McMahon said to him, "All I need you to do, pal, is make my bottom line look good." Good shit.
Yep.
Right? And that's what he's doing. He don't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about the fans. He doesn't give a shit about the product. He doesn't give a shit about what's going on in the storylines. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. To me, he's not any
watch a show.
To me, he's not any different than that comedy writer that they hired that didn't know what Bobby Lashley's fucking name was, right? All he cares about is the job that he was given, and that's to make the bottom line look good. And it's making the product suffer. If you want to turn around and you want to talk about all this stuff that's going on the main roster with Keith Lee and a Karrion Kross, right? We'll use them specifically. I mean, even just recently, Samoa Joe, right? Got released and you know, and now he's come back to NXT and he's in a major program again. But if I'm Adam Cole, I'm absolutely not signing another deal. And I don't know that if anybody's paid attention to what is going on in the WWE universe, but like, this dude is like budget cutting these guys into irrelevancy,
right?
Like,
you're absolutely right. Like, he's like, this is the Adam Cole defection is, I think, going to be the first crack in the, like, it's going to be the first repercussion of the, like, what's been going on. It's going to be the first, like, oh my God, we have destabilized our locker rooms in such a way that we're about to have a mass exodus. You know, despite our own mass exodus, like, we might lose legitimate talent and have legitimate talent not sign more contracts who we want to keep. You know, I mean, at this point, if you're Seth Rollins and your contract is up this year, do you not maybe fish for? Do you not consider it? like consider maybe not going? I mean, even a guy who seems to be as protected as a guy like Seth Rollins. Obviously, Roman Reigns is probably the most protected guy at this point. You know, maybe Goldberg as well. I don't know why Vince has why there's some, you know, oh God,
Easy ratings
get
pop.
Goldberg.
Easy rating pop, nothing, man. Like, he got his pop when he came out on the first night with live fans. Goldberg, right? And then we turn around and we do some dumb shit like fucking release Bray Wyatt. So, like, I don't feel bad for Bill Goldberg and Bobby Lashley having to deal with the Chicago crowd saying we want Wyatt. I don't feel bad, not at all. But to circle back to this Adam Cole thing, you know, we talked about he could possibly be the next coming of Shawn Michaels. He is the second coming of Shawn Michaels, right? We've all said it on this program. And the fact that we've let something as significant as Adam Cole's contract lapse, it's just unforgivable to me. And you know what? I just said that, you know, Nick Khan has you know, budget cut this company into irrelevancy. All I know is there's a lot of guys on the other channel that I enjoy, and I am not. I mean, I'm as critical of the AEW product as they come, but I'm watching the other channel more often to see some of these guys.
I watch them both. I watch everything now.
You know, exactly. Like, so
I hurt my thumb, so I can't play video games. So
that's a bummer.
So I did watch a lot of wrestling.
But
damn,
split it open like a hot dog.
But like, I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching the other channel more, right? So like, the argument has been that AEW's viewership is up and NXT, or, you know, that WWE's viewership is down. No, their viewership's not down. Like, their audience is turning their back on WWE because of the things that are going on from an office perspective that is making fans dislike what is going on in the company.
Well, to make a comparison, I know you got Derek. I know you game pretty hard, but Wald, I know you're at least familiar. You've both seen what's going on with Blizzard lately, right? With all of the sexual harassment scandal and just all of that, right?
Yeah, the head guy stepped down today.
Yeah, they had Jalen
was
Brack
replaced by
stepped
two
down.
people.
Yeah. Well, this is, I mean, not obviously, you know, WWE's had their own sexual harassment scandals in the past, but this is sort of a like similar. You know, people are just leaving games that they like, games like World of Warcraft, games like, you know, StarCraft, Overwatch, things like, you know, games that are still super popular. People are just leaving it like, you know what, I can't play a game. Huge streamers and YouTubers and everything. I can't play a game. I can't be part of this toxic culture. And I feel like WWE's hitting the same type of thing with just their like heartless, you know, the cuts and the budget cuts and well, you know, we've come to agreement and it's we wish him well and his best endeavors and his future endeavors and all that. Like, it's you know, you spend all the time and the money and the TV time getting us to invest in these characters, and you know, we invest in them, especially now. We invest in them on television, but we invest in them, you know, we follow them on Twitter, we follow them on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And, you know, we like what they've done or what they're doing. You know, we maybe agree or disagree with the booking, but at some point it's like, you know, when you cut one of our favorite guys for seemingly no reason, like Bray Wyatt, right? When you let Bray Wyatt go, the guy was a champion, like not even that long ago. And he was on WrestleMania and he was like, and that was just like, oh, that was it.
And
okay,
he's
we're done.
A creative genius. I mean, he can get anything over.
The dude is over as hell.
Multiple times turned chicken sit into chicken salad.
And
Absolutely.
And he sells more merch. He sells merchandise like crazy. Like, why would you cut a guy that just okay? Now we're just going to cut off this whatever million plus $3 million a month or $1 million a month in merchandise.
It makes no sense. Even from a business standpoint, like, yeah, it bolsters your bottom line, but does it really? Like, because, you know, you bring in
for a minute. I mean, you know, we cut $1.5 million, $1.5 million salary.
Okay, but I mean, a T-shirt on WWE Shop's $27.99.
Right.
I mean, how many T-shirt sales you gonna lose? Like, dude,
I mean, when he
they've
comes,
got Fiend toys and T-shirts and all this crazy shit that everybody wants to have.
right?
Everybody wants to
Yep.
have a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? And the
He's a
merchandising
Funko
alone.
Pop.
Yeah, he's a rare Funko Pop that's selling for big time money right now on the secondary Funko Pop market.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand the logic behind this, and we're gonna get into Bray. Like I'm still just I'm flabbergasted at this Adam Cole thing. Like I really just the level of irresponsibility that exists with something like, because remember back in July I shared this story about the rumor that Adam Cole's contract was up, and then everybody was like, oh no, it's up in December, and now here we are, it's August.
It's up.
And apparently it was up in July.
It's on the handshake now.
So, I mean, that just tells you a lot about the type of guy that Adam Cole is. And the thing is, you Tom, you said it. He owns his name. He owns everything. He's trademarked his baby and his gimmick.
He can show up in AEW
and do the same fucking shtick
the day after SummerSlam and he can kill whomever. He can kill the Young Bucks by himself or whatever, Kenny Omega, and he can be like, "This is Adam Cole, baby." Like he won't have the NXT entrance music. He won't have the boom. He won't have that. But I mean, something else can go boom. And
I mean, at this point, he doesn't have it now anyway. So
yeah,
now that
he still does the thing though. Like
he still does it, but the song's not as cool. I don't think anyway. I'm not a huge fan of the new song.
Yeah, the Undisputed Era song was definitely, as Tom would
say,
chef's kiss.
It was fantastic. It's that might be that and Shayna Baszler's NXT entrance were those are probably my two favorite of all time.
I mean, dude, that was my walkout music for my wedding reception.
Sure was.
So that tells you right there. It was fantastic.
So listen, and here's the reality of the situation. And Tom, you said it yourself. I mean, because Takeover's on Sunday after SummerSlam this year, because for whatever reason they finally realized that Takeover was the better show, and they're going to put that in the WWE primetime spot, right? So after Takeover,
show.
Come Wednesday. Okay, you just said it. There's nothing that could stop him from walking out on AEW television.
He'll be there on Wednesday,
and he'll walk out and he'll hit and that crowd is going to go wild. Do you know why? Because they have respect for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. If he shows up on Wednesday along with somebody they've got, I'm sure, a bunch of guys who are ready to they can dribble him in. If he shows up on Wednesday, that next Wednesday show is going to be 1.5 million viewers. Mm-hmm. The show after that might be 2.5 million viewers.
And here's the thing, Tom, and you and I have been really critical of Tony Khan and some of his signing decisions, right? But like, I feel like he's done a lot of good work in the last 3 months, bringing in some talent that's drawing eyes to his product, and we can.
I mean, he's had a lot of opportunity, and to be fair, he has grabbed the opportunity by the horns,
and he's picked the right guys.
I mean, we talk about Miro. I mean, they flubbed him a little bit getting him out there. I don't think that he's necessarily the guy that can book himself, and I think they figured that out. But now he's doing great. I think the Malachi Black signing is fantastic. I'm really excited with what's going on between him and Cody. I know everybody gets real salty about oh god, him and Cody's gonna bury him and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, because Cody's got to take the first match, of course, and
But it's all been so far Malachi Black's had the upper hand the whole time, and
that's good.
Even at this point, if Cody does take the first match in whatever way, or if it'll probably be by disqualification. That would be my thought, but that'll probably happen. But I mean, I think Cody's the right guy to bring him in, and then Cody can go off and do something else, and they can do whatever with Malachi Black. And I think he's a creative enough guy that they don't really necessarily have the writing talent and the backstage connectivity necessarily, but he can keep himself over. You know what I mean?
100%. Because The thing is, like, what I'm noticing is I become more, more engaged in the AEW product, right? As people that they're signing that I enjoy watching, like a Malachi Black, right, or an Andrade. As I start to pay more attention to what they're doing, they actually listen to their fan base.
They do,
and I think that is what
quickly.
has. Yes,
Quickly.
and I think that is what has put them over to the degree that they are. Tom, there's things that you and I disagree with, like Orange Cassidy and his stupid little pockets, right? I'm never going to be a fan of that. But
No,
you know what? Sting just put it over 2 weeks ago, pal. So like, it's here to stay. And you know what? It's kind of like the Lakers in 2021, man. I'm jumping on the train, and it's like I
don't want to see him be the world champ. But if it's a thing, it's fine. To me, I've put it in the when Al Snow was over in the Attitude Era. What does everybody want? I don't like it as much because I'm not 15 and it's not that level of funny to me. But I get it, right? Like it's that, it's that gimmick. So. Whatever. Okay.
And the decision making that's going on over at Titan Towers right now is questionable at best.
It's drunk. It's not drunk. Drunk is like I make better decisions drunk than they've made, and it's fucking like black tar heroin, blacked out, like drooling on yourself. Like what has Nick Khan ever watched wrestling before in his life?
I mean, clearly he hasn't. And here's the thing, Derek, and like
he fired Ric Flair for fuck's sake.
Well, no, that's what I was just getting ready to say, right? The creative's so bad and the company's in such a bad shape that Ric Flair calls up Vince in the middle of the night and he's like, "Hey pal, can you let me out of my contract? I don't want to be here anymore. You guys don't have any direction." And Vince is like, "Sure, pal." I mean, when the literal greatest of all time, they can call John Cena the GOAT all they want, and they're doing that to pump up Roman Reigns. They're doing all that to pump up Roman Reigns, right? Because we all know Roman's going over at SummerSlam, and I'm having a lot of fun watching the whole. I like the little contract signing thing. Like that was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
No, that's the thing. I want to talk about that at some point because
I'll circle back.
That made me upset. But go on.
But it's so discombobulated in Connecticut right now that Ric Flair says, "Yo, I'm out." Like the literal greatest of all time says, "I'm leaving."
Yeah, because the greatest living.
You guys don't know what you're doing anymore, and there's no clear direction. And I was listening to Busted Open today. I haven't listened to Bully Ray and those guys for a while, right? And Bully was hot, man, like hot about this whole Bray Wyatt thing. And he started talking, and you get all the fans online. They're like, "Oh, well, where's their loyalty to this?" And Bully Ray says, "Man, there's no loyalty in this fucking business, guys. Like the only loyalty you have is to yourself and the almighty dollar." And WWE continues to turn around and show everybody just that week after week after week. And the fact that we have to sit here and we have to look at today's product and a 3-hour flagship program that can't even stay at 1 million viewers, right? And we have to sit. But it's right there on the cusp. I mean, we're talking about a show that in its heyday was pulling 6 million viewers every single week.
7 to 9.
What I'm saying? And
7 to 9.
Now you can barely break one. It's absurd, and we continue to just budget cut our way into irrelevancy. And I can't say that enough because the only thing that's relevant right now on WWE television is Roman Reigns and the Usos. That's it. Nothing else matters to them. Nothing. And they make it clear week after week after week after week. You take guys like Keith Lee and bring him up and you put him in a primetime spot against Randy Orton. It's a chance to set him up to, right? Buried. You bring in Karrion Kross, the baddest motherfucker in NXT. Hasn't lost in 3 years. You bring him up. 2-minute squash match, right? But he lost the squash match. Buried. Then you put the two of them against each other. 50-50 booking. There's no there's no continuity to the storyline, and we come in here and we talk about the lack of continuity on the storyline.
Well,
But
yeah.
I'll be goddamned if we don't trot Goldberg out there for that nostalgia pop every 3 months, and nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. You know what I want to see? I want to see Bray Wyatt fucking come down, and I want to see Bray Wyatt do Bray Wyatt things. That is the best character that the WWE has had since The Undertaker. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You take Cult Leader Bray, you take The Fiend, you take fucking Funhouse Bray. That's the greatest character WWE has had since The Undertaker.
And they let The Undertaker do Undertaker things.
And Wyndham Rotunda, the man behind the character, right? That man is a fucking genius. And the fact that they can't get past their own selfish needs and wants, that we have to have this and we need to do this and we need to do that, to let this man be creative, because he's clearly a creative mind, right? He's an artist. He's an artist, and that's what it comes down to. And you know what? I hope that after 90 days, he shows up over on AEW television. He walks out in some sort of, new Fiend type gimmick, and he fucking kills Kenny Omega and he takes over AEW, because Tony Khan's going to let Bray Wyatt be Bray Wyatt. And the simple fact that WWE can't get out of their own way with all of these people that don't matter, that are writing their fucking show every week, that don't know the product, that don't care about the product. All they want to do is pop Vince McMahon. That's all they care about.
So, two things with this. For one, I think Tony Khan needs to be really careful with all these releases that they've had lately. Whereas, sign all you want, but you need to be real sporadic about what you start to sprinkle into the actual shows. Because you don't want a giant, push of all these new WWE faces coming into your company, because it's going to be nothing but is this just a WWE sideshow here now?
Well,
and that's going to come up at some point.
Yes, it will. But
we're already having that conversation.
I'm not going to argue that, but so we've moved on to Bray Wyatt as that's gone. There are certain talents that have been released that are, if you don't sign them, it's like it's stupidity, right? Like when WCW signed the Macho Man, right? How, if you're WCW, how you not sign the Macho Man, right? How do you not sign Bret Hart immediately? How do you not sign Hulk Hogan? But this is where they are. Like this is that point, right? This is that point in that, Vince told Bret Hart, well, if you want to take that WCW signing, No, WCW squandered it, right? They really squandered Bret Hart. And it was terrible. But Bray Wyatt is not Bret Hart, right?
No.
Bret Hart was a great wrestler. Was Bret Hart a creative mind? Like, Bray Wyatt's not a great wrestler, but he's a great creative mind who can just captivate viewers. He doesn't even have to wrestle. He just has to show up. He has to talk. Has to have a gimmick, and when
he's in the ring, you don't know what he's going to do. It's interesting. It's good to watch.
Right.
You're excited.
Whether he's the leader of the Dark Order, whether he takes over the Dark Order and does that, whether he does his own thing, whether he just shows up as some kind of weird demon clown character, and it doesn't matter, right? Like that'll be the only thing we can talk about. It'll be like,
what I want to see him do if he goes to AEW? I want to see him go in. I want to see him destroy the Dark Order. That's what I want to see.
That might be fun too.
I think that would be the best possible thing that he could do to honor his best friend's memory, right? Is to go in there and just mow through their prodigies, his prodigies, right? And become an enemy of them. And I think that would be a lot of fun. And I think that, from a real life standpoint, as well as a storyline standpoint, it would make a ton of sense.
No, you're right.
That's actually, it could be a lot of fun, especially because it's not so much that they even have a true leader at this point. And it's already been said that if anybody eventually is the official leader, it's -1, which I think is always funny that they say that, because he's like 11. And, it's going to be another 10 years before he's actually in any sort of shape to actually come out there, unless he's Hook and he comes out with his daddy, which is obviously not an option.
Well, he's not allowed to be on television because he's having a hard time doing his homework. Like that's a legit thing.
Is
Yeah,
that a
yeah.
legit story? Huh?
Yes.
Yes,
There you
legit.
go. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see where that gains them anything. Because then, why did you build this whole story? What's the motivation for coming in and destroying your best friend's group? Does it make sense?
I don't
I don't like
know. I
I
think
like
it would
the
be fun.
rotating faces of kind of pseudo leaders. You know, you had the evil Uno, you had the Adam Page, because Adam Page is definitely what we're kind of leaning towards now. He had that nice entrance on AEW last week.
Well, especially if Adam Page wins, if he wins over Kenny Omega.
That's not going to
Like-
happen though.
Why?
That whole battle royal thing, that little gimmick battle royal that they did, that cross promotion thing that you defended in the group message so fiercely, pal. Just let's put that out there. Buried Adam.
It was
Page.
fun. It was
Okay.
fun.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
they
I'm here
buried,
to do.
But
Have fun.
But they buried their best storyline in the process.
Oh,
Their best
No.
title storyline in the
No.
process.
how does that bury him?
100%.
It's
I
a
still think
redemption
that's it.
story,
Hey,
fellas.
hey,
It's a
stop.
redemption story.
Stop. Listen. Mark my words.
I like how you use the word mark.
Adam Page will not challenge Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing for the title.
I
Mark
never said it was going to be a double or
my
nothing.
words.
And if you're wrong, you're buying us wings.
sure,
All right. Yes.
but I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying. There's a lot of questionable decisions being made in Connecticut, and it's really pissing me off, right? I sit here week after week and I defend everything that WWE does, right, wrong, or indifferent. And maybe I'm just a fucking moron too. But you know what? I can't defend it anymore. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. You know, I agree with you, Tom. Bray Wyatt's not the most captivating in-ring performer, but I've fucking thoroughly enjoyed this man's run in this company. And he you take a look at it and you go back to the whole Wyatt family, all the way back to like the Wyatt family and the Shield. Do you remember that little standoff that happened? And it's like, man, this is it. This is what we get to look forward to, right? And then now the only one that's there, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Everybody else is gone.
Nope. Everybody else.
Everybody else is gone. Gone. For what? For what?
Nothing. Remember
So
when
the-
the Shield was there to protect CM Punk?
But they didn't work for CM Punk. They worked for the WWE title.
Right.
That
But it
the
was on
shtick.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
And that was the only time they ever worked for the WWE title. Because after that, they worked for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of there's a lot of blowback from this Bray Wyatt thing, right? Like locker room morale is down. And to circle back to what Tom said about this Adam Cole thing, right? Why would you want to be there? Why? People, you can't tell me that there's not top performers looking at this going, oh shit.
Especially, yeah, exactly. Especially if you're Adam Cole. Like if you're shit, I don't know. Who's still there that's not a top performer? Akira
Cesaro.
Cesaro? Yeah.
I mean, we could do this all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you're Akira Tozawa or if you're
anybody not named
Cesaro,
Roman Reigns, I'm
if you're
telling you.
Nia Jax, I mean, I don't know. The women seem to be safer, but yeah, if you're not Roman Reigns or the Usos or seemingly like Sami Zayn and like maybe Kevin Owens, but
I mean,
Seemingly,
we thought the same thing about Bray Wyatt. I mean,
Yeah, if
we're
you'd have
talking
told me
about
last week Bray Wyatt was going to
Well-
release, I'd be like, what? No.
well, I mean, Bray Wyatt gets off TV a lot though, so
Well, yeah, but that's because like you gotta let him breathe a little bit. You gotta let his stories breathe a little bit.
I mean, the man was
true.
burned alive.
Yeah.
It takes time to
Fucking-
reincarnate, Tom.
Well, no, it didn't, because he walked through a tunnel at WrestleMania and he reincarnated.
I
pal.
watched that happen. Yeah,
He saved up a lot of energy to do that, fellas. Trust me.
And listen, let's not forget the fact that they fucked up some of this booking with this dude. Once they put they saw the dollar signs that were associated with him and they started mucking all this stuff up, right? it got
Well, yeah, they
really,
tried
really
to double
bad.
up on it and spread it
really,
to
really
Alexa
bad
Bliss. So, because of
really,
course,
really quickly.
2 demon creatures are better than 1.
They
And then,
fucked it up.
you know,
Could sell 2 T-shirts.
They fucked it
yeah,
up.
they did.
Shocker.
Greed's a bitch. It
You
happens.
know what I'm saying? And I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. What do we do? What do we do? You know what I'm gonna
I'm
do?
pretty sure what you should probably do is turn on TNT on Wednesday nights at 8. That
We
would
have
probably
been.
fix everything.
Yeah,
We
like I
have
don't even
been.
know why
I'm just trying to drop a line for him, fellas. That's
I
all.
don't know
Don't
why
come
you're
at me
plugging.
hard.
I don't know why you're plugging your
Jeez.
Outlaw Mud Show, pal. All right, like we're watching.
We're
Good
gonna get
Outlaw
to
Mud
that.
Show.
We're
You're
gonna get to
jealous.
some Mud Show.
I mean,
You're
I'm just
jealous
saying.
that
What's our next topic, by the way? Because I feel like Adam Cole and Bray Wyatt, we've already.
Well, I got one more thing about Bray Wyatt, and then we'll move on. Right?
Okay,
we
go
were
for
talking
it. Go.
about
I'm
people
sorry. I'm
being-
sorry. Well,
No,
I'm
you're-
sorry.
bro, you're
I'm
great.
sorry.
I'm happy. I'm
what?
happy as pigs and shit right now. You see? Look at that smile. Isn't that
Sorry.
smile fantastic? I got a beautiful
I'm
smile.
sorry about your
You know
smile.
who's pissed
Yeah.
off? Do you know who's pissed off? The networks.
Yeah.
They're pissed, and they should be. They should be. They're mad about this Bray Wyatt thing.
they spend a lot of money.
Fox
And
especially.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Fox is pissed because they were hoping he was going to come back around and to their side of the thing, and now he's just gone. He's just gone.
They were so ready for that ratings pop when he came back. They were like, man, they got Bray Wyatt coming back. I'm gonna make them Play-Doh snakes with my hands.
Yeah, and we're gonna just
They were so ready for it.
we're just gonna stack that cheese, pal. And
And
Not now.
then they were like, Nick Khan was like, man, we should release him. And Vince was like, yeah, we should. And like, what the fuck?
all I know is Nick Khan is cutting this place up, man, and I just don't know what to do about it. I really don't. I just
It's
sit
a
here
train
and-
wreck.
Sit here and idly watch, right?
It's a train wreck. If you're Braun Strowman, you don't
That's what
come
it
back,
is.
No.
right? Like if you're Adam Scher, and that WWE's like, hey man, maybe we were too quick, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, Bray Wyatt's now been released, future endeavors.
I'm good, pal.
Yeah.
Now you're like, no. You paid me enough. I can just wait this out because this is a no. I'm still going to be huge later.
So Samoa Joe got cleared to wrestle,
Yes, he did.
and Derek is just so excited that Samoa Joe got cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have really talked this guy up, so I'm interested to see what he can do. You know,
Nobody's
still
more
can't-
excited than me.
I still can't believe that after all of these conversations, pal, you still haven't taken like 45 minutes of your life to sit down and watch some Samoa Joe shit. Like
fellas, I'll be honest. At this point, I'm just playing up the gimmick to be a dick. Of course, yes, it's going to be fantastic, but it's a lot more entertaining if I sit here and act like I don't know who he is.
no.
So
it's
thanks
not-
for
it's
ruining
not-
that.
It's not
Fuck.
entertaining. You're not entertaining. You're a waste of fucking space. And
Well, then, hurry up and talk your shit and move on.
I would just like to fucking punch you right in your suck hole.
No, you wouldn't. Stop. Be nice to Derek. Walt, I know you're mad.
Matt,
It's a
Matt, doesn't,
PG-rated show, sir.
Matt doesn't describe what I am. Okay,
Walt,
frustrated.
I know you're Walt Fury, but still, if I were to hug you, you probably wouldn't punch me.
I just want to
Too many
enjoy
times.
wrestling, man. And like I'm just so sick and tired of the fact that like every time I sit down to take a shit, somebody gets fired.
That's true. That's
Like
true.
I don't.
Take
I
two
You know what's
shits
great about
today
that?
'cause it
Though?
was-
That
'cause
means
it was two people
that
today. Take two
someone's
shits.
getting hired at AEW most of the time.
Ooh.
So
Gotta look at the
Samoa Joe,
positive,
though,
Walt. Gotta look at the
yeah.
positive.
You know what the positive is? When you shut up. That's positive for me.
Damn.
Are you out of whiskey? I like it better whenever you just sit there and drink, and Tom and I
Well, you
kind of
know
just
what?
run the
I
show as we
mean,
see fit.
I'm just saying, pal. Like there's no whiskey. Okay, just anger. Okay, just anger. But I'm not angry about the Samoa
Yeah.
Joe thing, not at all. I think that that's going to be awesome. And clearly Samoa Joe is going to take the title off of Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross is going to go to
Yeah.
the main roster where he wants to be so that he can be irrelevant just like every fucking thing else that's WWE has to offer that's not Roman Reigns. Just
two things about that. Apparently, the plan for Karrion Kross is for him to be mediocre until they let Charlotte show back up, and then they give him back his mist, and then he will again become dominant. Apparently, that's the plan. That being said, oh my God, Samoa Joe, and I can't wait because God, I love Samoa Joe. I feel like I've said that before.
Yeah.
God, I love Samoa Joe.
I do too. I'm excited
And
for it.
I can't wait to watch them go 20 minutes like on Sunday. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited for it. I'm so fucking excited for it because there's also going to be like, it's going to be Adam Cole's last match in NXT as well. It's going to be so good. I can't wait for Sunday. Sunday's going to be amazing. And
Can't wait.
So Samoa Joe's great. And I don't know how many matches Samoa Joe has left in his tank, but I know there's one on Sunday, and I'm going to watch it with my eyeballs, and I'm going to be excited about it. And yeah, I mean, it's so, you know, I feel like we bitch about wrestling a lot, and it's times like this where I'm often like, you know, we're at a crossroads right now, but I'm often like, man, I'm going to look back at this as like, what a great time to be alive. I'm so excited that I was alive. I got to watch this stuff, and it was exciting to me. And like, it was on at a time, like I put it on and my kids watched with me, and it was just great. And we're going to go back and watch that. Like, you know, like we did, you know, the Undertaker versus Stone Cold, or like we did with The Rock versus Stone Cold, or like we did with like Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, or Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, or, you know, Ric Flair versus, you know, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, this is that kind of thing where it's just like we've hit this crossroads where like it's the end of an era, but now we're finally going to get what we want once. And, you know, whether it's through stupidity or whatever, we're going to get it. And now I'm excited. And the first time that I get it, you know, in a long time is this Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, me.
It's going to be awesome.
You know, else we get this Sunday. We get the lover reliever match with Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano, which I personally am quite excited
That'll
for.
probably open the show, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun match. I know. Won't sit there and say this is going to be bullshit. We go for Dr. Samoa Joe. No,
I mean, the storyline itself is not great.
It's fun. It's been a fun storyline. This is what I'm here for. It's the theater. It's fun. This is it.
Well, I mean, the match is going to be. God, poor Dexter Lumis is just never going to be the guy, right?
I mean, he could have been 6 months ago, but they fucked that up.
He's just not going to be the guy.
His gimmick's not going to let him be the guy. I don't know. Can he speak? Maybe he can speak.
Weird zombie man.
He's this masterful Shakespearean voice on the microphone that they're just waiting to unleash eventually. But not
he probably ain't. He probably ain't.
Doubtful. Yeah, I'm sure not. But
he probably
guy can dream, right? I mean, who thought I would be a year ago almost now? But look at me now.
I liked you better a year ago when you didn't fucking talk.
You gonna speak for Dexter Lumis?
Yeah,
can we make
I'm gonna be the Paul Heyman.
No.
For Dexter
Lumis.
Lumis.
He's not allowed to do that because he thinks that translators are stupid.
Wait, can Indy Hartwell be his valet?
Oh God,
because her in-ring's not that great.
No,
she can be his Zelina Vega to his Andrade.
Be fine. I'd like to hear him talk. Just let him try. Maybe
it sounds like a zombie. Like he talks like a zombie. I think that's
fucking
why
Bray Wyatt gets fired, and we're talking about fucking Dexter Lumis. Are we for real right now?
Dexter Lumis puts on better matches.
Are we fucking for real right now?
Bray Wyatt to NXT.
I,
Anyway,
Maybe Triple H is gonna just pull up Bray Wyatt and be like, "Hey, you want to come back?"
hey, you know what? I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
you know that would honestly, NXT has been kind of boring lately. If that happened, I'd be like, oh fuck, I got to watch on Tuesday. Like,
Well, yeah, NXT's been
hard.
boring because they got fucking buried because their champion went up and lost to fucking Jeff Hardy.
Good lord, no, I mean more than that. It's been basically it's been nobody. Like it's been all the nobodies getting all the time. And yeah,
at least somebody's focusing on trying to build some future stars because it sure shit isn't Vince.
Sure ain't.
No.
Going for it. Good job, Trips. What's our next topic, sir?
I'm
Is it
fucking
time?
hungry. I'm hungry. I mean,
Oh.
Me
Hungry?
too. I'm also hungry.
I'm hungry. I just, I don't, I'm gonna go eat some pizza.
Do you want some pizza?
Yeah.
There's pizza?
Let's order some Domino's.
Oh, that's our next topic, eh?
Yeah.
I like it. What a good transition one.
Bro, seriously though, like, how perfect was the split screen commercial drop? Nick Gage is running around like a moron with his pizza cutter. Don't fucking interrupt me right now, okay? I'm trying to set
Let
this
Walt
up
talk, and then I need to
so
talk.
you two
talk
can
last.
argue, and then I can fucking do what I do while you two argue. All right. So
No arguments.
Nick Gage cuts up Jericho's face, right? And then they're like, "Oh, keep up with the action and picture in picture," and it goes, "Oh, at Domino's, we have fresh mozzarella, whatever the fuck," and then pizza cutter. I went, "Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all." And then that night, it's like Domino's is furious, like furious. The president, whatever the fuck she was, she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to take a look at where we put our advertising revenue on this channel." Big deal. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, so let's talk about this match as a whole. As a whole.
Can I just before you get going? Did you see the look on Derek's face as soon as you said, "Let's talk about this match"?
I know where it's going.
Okay,
Derek, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Wow. Just wow. So the start of this match, I want to point out the start of this match could not have been more indie garbage. Nobody knows what they're doing, right? Right. Nick Gage is out there. He comes to the ring clearly with a pizza cutter in his hand. Like, that's the only thing he's got. It's not a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. It's not a chair wrapped in barbed wire. It's not a shotgun. It's a pizza cutter. The man is out here.
But that's his gimmick, kind of like, Cactus Jack, bang bang. Like my man's got the pizza cutter. That's his thing.
Okay,
like, that's his shtick.
So we've got this guy who's more or less a drug addicted potato that maybe works at a pizza joint and wrestles on the weekends. However, he's got this day job now. Well, this weekday job, because it was in the evening. Like, he doesn't work during the day. Let's forget about that. Walks out with his pizza cutter. This man, he has no teeth. Well, he has teeth, but they look terrible. They look like he's done a lot more meth than he's done pizza. And but he's got a pizza cutter, so let's give him that. It looks kind of like a potato. Comes out. It's a trial of Jericho, and poor Chris Jericho. Like, why does he subject himself to this nonsense?
Because he's on his retirement tour, pal.
Okay, well, he's gonna have a few extra scars, but anyway, so he comes out, right, and he's got the pizza cutter, and it's like his thing, and he's clearly like trying to show everybody, like, yeah, this is my pizza cutter, and I'm Nick Gage, and I'm here to put on a death match with Chris Jericho. And did Abdullah the Butcher ever like show the fork to the crowd, or was he just like gonna stab somebody with the fork?
No, he always showed the fork. He did like,
Kind of similar to what Moxley did.
yeah, very similar to what Moxley did.
Okay, all right. So anyway, he gets to the ring, and he does a pizza cutter thing, like yeah. Okay, and then Jericho comes down as the Painmaker, which we've never seen. I'm going to criticize this too. We've never seen this on television, right? Like he's never been the Painmaker.
Not in AEW, no.
No, right. So why would anybody watching AEW understand that he's the Painmaker on New Japan and there was like a gimmick, right? Why would we know that?
I'll follow what you're saying, but I'm also going to agree with what Derek is silently saying, but continue.
Okay, it's fine, right? It's okay. He comes out with the Painmaker gear on, and you know,
I wonder where he got that Oscar mask at. Did he get that on WWE Shop?
Bingo. So most people got it. I mean, they explained it. Commentary explained it. I'm not overly upset. It wasn't upsetting, but it was like one of those things. Was like, is this a farewell tour? Are we on the? This was the Cactus Jack Mick Foley. You know, I'm Cactus Jack. I'm Dude Love. I'm Mankind. I'm Mick Foley. Exactly.
Dude Love.
This is, and it's fine. Really, it is. I don't want to overly criticize it, but this is what it was. And then, so they get to the ring. They start the match, right? Immediately, Jericho blades. Like that pizza cutter was dull as hell. He went and Jericho bladed. You saw it. They caught it.
Gimmicked.
They caught the blade. They caught it. Caught Jericho blading. It was caught, and it was caught like in zoom in.
Very good on.
They need to fire their cameraman. Like if they're going to continue to do this, they need to fire their cameraman. So Jericho blades, and the match goes on. Everybody throws really bad punches. Like it's mostly punches, right? Because like Nick Gage can't wrestle, and it's bad punches. So it's bad punches more or less through the whole thing. There's weird gimmicky shit like with and where, you know, Domino's is upset. But then we get to the last 3 minutes of the match, which is the end. Jericho Hurricanrana's Nick Gage through glass. And I don't know if it's sugar glass or whatever. It's probably real glass because it seemed like it sliced everybody up pretty good. And but that glass went in to the fans. The fans were sprayed with glass. And I don't know about you guys, but I've worked for some shitty lawyers in my day. And I watched that as, oh my God, we can sue a billionaire for throwing glass shards into a crowd. What the fuck? What a stupid idea. How stupid was that? And then after that, there was more. Nick
Tell us
Gage.
about it, Tom.
So there was a light tubes. That's where the light tubes came in, right? The light tubes. So
the frustration is growing.
Nick Gage was all, oh my God, I got my light tube. I'm gonna stab it in his face. Light tube, which was gross. It really was, but it didn't seem to make any more blood than was already Jericho's like gimmicked thing. So I don't know if the light tubes are gimmicked or if the light tubes just aren't sharp or whatever. I mean, they might give you cancer because there's like really bad gas inside of those. So, however, though, we continue with the light tube gimmick because that's the death match gimmick. The light tubes. I don't understand why, but it's the gimmick. And so not only are there light tubes, there's 4 light tubes taped together to get brought out, right? However, Nick Gage does not get to hit Jericho with these light tubes. Jericho is blown up at this point. Man is like gasping for air. So he's breathing in all this light tube air. And then Jericho turns it around, grabs these 4 taped together light tubes, hit Nick Gage with them, who sells like, oh my God, I got hit with 4 light tubes, my mortal nemesis. And then Jericho hits him with the Judas effect that looked like shit. Good Lord. How bad? Did anybody else notice it was like, Walt, if I elbowed you the way that Jericho elbowed, like we could greet each other that way if I come to visit you at work, and nobody would be hurt, and it wouldn't hurt at all, and we'd be fine. But Nick Gage just laid on broken glass and was pinned 1, 2, 3. Jericho walked away covered in blood and light tube dust and all that other stuff. So, you know, I don't know how much light tube dust you have to inhale to look like Nick Gage, but I feel like it's about the amount that Jericho did. So Jericho might look like some kind of a weird cut up potato next week. But man, was that that was awful. That was how was that the main event? Like, they should have just put that on YouTube after the fact. It was so like, what the fuck was that match? Like, Nick Gage can't wrestle. It was the only wrestling move he did was a really shitty pile driver. That was the worst pile driver ever. I hope they both like end up like with some like form of treatable cancer from that, because that match gave me cancer. Derek, what do you have to say about that pathetic display of stupidity?
So pretty much the last 15 minutes or so of your little rant there was nothing but someone who has no idea what they were watching try to explain this shit show. It is obvious, painfully obvious, that Nick Gage is not going to come out here and destroy the career of a 50-year-old legend.
Nick Gage is not.
A lot of the stuff that they did looked a little shitty, especially in the beginning, because it was obvious
they couldn't
that he
even
was
throw
being
good
protected.
punches at each other.
And I'm sorry, but you're saying that now Jericho is going to come out looking like a potato because his shitty blade jobs. That's not Nick Gage's fault.
No.
Did he hold the camera?
I said, hold on.
Watch I said
he's going to look like a potato because he inhaled the gas in the light tubes.
Yeah. If you knew anything about deathmatch wrestling, which you don't, and it's fine.
Nobody dies.
4 light tubes together? It's like a bazooka of light tube, man. It's a big fucking deal. You get hit with 4 taped together, it's over. It's over. Come on. Do I need to send you like a fact, like frequently asked questions, so then maybe you understand? There's just so much to unpack. I can't even
fucking bazooka of light tubes.
You go on these rants, and then I can't even remember everything
Derek,
that I wanted to get at on you.
Derek, I love you so much.
Oh man, you just popped the fuck out of me, pal.
I love
to be honest, fellas, I know we brought up the Domino's thing in the beginning, and
Derek, can I notice that it happened?
I didn't even notice it happening. I'm sitting here watching the stupid little picture-in-picture thing that I can't stand, and not even until I saw it on Twitter the next day was like, oh, Domino's is pissed. I wonder why. And then I realized, oh, that's why. That sucks. The pizza cutter thing is a big deal. Did you look in the crowd? There was a cardboard pizza cutter in the crowd. It's over, bud. It's over. People love it.
It's fine that it's over.
Fucking bazooka of light tubes.
The bazooka of light tubes.
And obviously, yes, the glass is very real. And the Judas effect looked like shit. How was that Nick Gage's fault? Not his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
He's sitting here trying to take care of this poor man who's obviously, like you said, blown the fuck up. Has probably never done a death match. If so, it's not been good. Oh, and the Painmaker gimmick? Bud, can we not just appreciate that AEW at least treats us like we kind of know what the fuck is going on? And we kind of probably know a little bit about other promotions, a little bit about other business. It's not just,
I mean,
well, here we are on the follow along lesson of WWE programming. And
listen,
blah, blah,
that's
blah,
one
blah.
thing. I'm glad you brought that up, pal, because that's one thing that like I don't think that I appreciated early on, right? Because there were certain things that like I knew about and I had seen, but a lot of this other shit, you know, outside of the Jerichos and the Kennys, right, and the Bullet Club and all that I didn't know about. And you know, we always talk. Tom and I always talk about the casual fan, right? And you're trying to garner casual fan view, you know, viewership,
Sure.
and that's where things get a little mucked up, I think sometimes. But I mean, I've come to appreciate as somebody that considers themselves to be a hardcore wrestling fan, the fact that AEW doesn't insult our intelligence.
no.
But well, as far as like there not being other companies and stuff like that,
Okay.
some of
And
the
it gives
shit
us
they
a
do
reason
is
to go out
really
and
bad,
explore
though.
some other things for some of us, you know? I mean,
Well,
you've got Lance
well,
Archer coming up with a match with what, Tanahashi for the
is
USIWGP.
that going to be
Yeah,
a death match too?
because it's
So
got to
my
go back to
problem
Japan.
is that this would have been
Yes.
this would have been better, truthfully, if this weren't like the fourth death match in a row. Like,
Second.
had this no, because
How's it fourth?
the Bucks did it. Moxley and the
Well, the
Murder
Bucks
House
wasn't a
Monster.
death match; it was a street fight.
Whatever. It was the same bullshit. Okay, where they had bullshit in the ring and there was blood and whatever. The 1st
Mhm.
bloody murder match.
Okay.
But this was the third in a row, and there maybe was more before that. I mean, I'm sure there was, but it just happens too often. And it's like, you know, had this been a like weird, like, oh my god, there's a weird murder match for Jericho. It's just so. Well, it's Jericho's turn to have a match with blood and broken glass and thumbtacks and chairs and whatever. And it's like we have to have one of these, and now it's Jericho's turn. And that's part of the problem with it, right? You know, they drag Nick Gage
context of things though, because he's going through the labors of Jericho.
Right, he is. Look, I don't dispute that. There's no problem with that, but it's like everybody's done a bloody match, right? Like Moxley had a bunch.
Yeah.
The Bucks had one where they kicked the tacks out of Eddie Kingston's mouth. It's like, if this was the first one in like 5 or 6 months, man, what an impact, right? This is like the third or fourth one in a row. That's the problem. And Nick Gage is bad. Not good at wrestling. Like,
Listen,
He was out
all
of his
I'm
element.
saying-
He's
all
a
I'm
death
saying
match.
is
It's not.
I watched that match live, and Derek
Mhm.
and I were kind of live chatting, and then we started including you, and you weren't watching it live. You went back and watched it later, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if I'm AEW, like, I don't put this fucking lunatic in the ring with Jericho. I don't care what word he's given me, because like I've seen some of his like legit deathmatch stuff, and dude's off his fucking rocker. But I'm not
Yes.
putting him in the ring with fucking Jericho and having the chance for him to just be like, Jericho fucking hit him with a potato, right? And Nick Gage just go fucking ballistic and just literally destroy Chris Jericho. Like Nick Gage, John Moxley at one point thought Nick Gage cut his tongue out with a pizza cutter early on in his career, because he hit him with a potato in a death match, and Nick Gage stomped the fucking shit out of him and then pulled his head back and across his mouth with the pizza cutter. And Moxley said he thought Nick Gage cut his fucking tongue out. So I understand where Derek's coming from, that, you know, there's a viewership for this, right? And people enjoy this. And maybe that's where AEW's kind of on the curve that like Tom and I don't necessarily agree with, right? Is that they're trying to find something for every wrestling fan to be on their show. But they're going to this well a little too often with like these no rules matches, right? And it's a little over the top. And then you're going to turn around, and I understand why they did what they did with the Labors of Jericho and Nick Gage being Nick Gage, right? And coming off of that crazy match with Cardona, and I get all of it. I understand. But at the same point in time, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm not putting this certifiable fucking lunatic in the ring with the face of my promotion. I'm just not.
Well,
Unfortunately,
and on top
the
of that,
current Nick Gage iron couldn't have been hotter at this time. So they had to do it. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Now was the time. It made sense storyline wise. And now we move on. Now that'll probably be a huge, 6 months, say, without any more deathmatch-esque type,
will it though?
type
I mean,
things.
there aren't any scheduled for next week, but what about the week after that? Like, how soon the Young Bucks want to go out and throw tax down against the
Right.
Lucha Brothers again? Like, how soon does like it's like there's nobody steering the ship, right? Nobody to say, no, we got to pump the brakes on these bloody shit matches because we've just done one. We can't again. Or we want to do one that's meaningful in 2 weeks. So you guys got to have a wrestling match. Go wrestle, idiots. And like, especially like, okay, the one that pisses me off the most that it happened already is the Young Bucks and Eddie Kingston and what was Penta, right?
Yeah.
It was that one. It was
Yes.
that one, right? That with the tax and the thing where they put the
Mhm.
tax in Eddie Kingston's mouth and they super kick partied him and he went with the tax. That's like not only was that match garbage, but it was just like, okay, we're gonna steal all the thunder because now there's 4 of us versus a lunatic with light tubes instead of a lunatic with light tubes about to beat a 50-year-old man and make him bleed like crazy. And like there wasn't a lot of blood in that match necessarily because it was all gimmicked and there was a lot of gimmick spots. But I don't know. It's like there needs to be somebody. Somebody needs to supervise this and be like, no. Long term wise, we can't do this. And like, not only did they diminish this, but like, as somebody who isn't into this stuff anyway, period. Like, I'm already over it. Like they've killed it going into this, right? It's almost like so imagine, okay, you're a fan of Metallica, right? But like Enter Sandman is not the best Metallica song. It's the most over song, and it's the song that's like, their big hit, right? Now, going into the big Metallica concert, you have now seen on MTV every cut of Metallica ever playing Enter Sandman ever, and a bunch of covers, and that's all that's been on TV is that. And then Metallica shows up, and the closer, you've bought tickets, and you've gone to their show, and the closer to their show now is Enter Sandman. Now you are fucking sick of this song because it's kind of dumb, right? Exit light, right? It's dumb. That's what this was. Like they had killed this gimmick before Jericho walked out. They'd killed this gimmick before Nick the Potato Gage walked out. And that's it.
Yeah.
It was already a dead gimmick. Had they walked out and had a tear down the walls wrestling match, not that Nick Gage could do that. But had they
No,
done
I'll be
that,
honest, he can't. Like, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and just act like he's the best wrestler. Yeah, he
we
can't.
would have been
No, but-
shocked.
But I tend to agree with you a little bit, Tom. Had they have not had the Texas Death Match the week before, and then the No Rules match with the Young Bucks and Eddie Kingston and
And the exploding ring match and the
like
whatever other ones.
I mean, I'm just saying, even in the last 3 weeks, right? If they wouldn't have had those certain things, like I feel like this would have been a little bit more impactful.
I feel like, honestly, truth be told, if I was not sick of it before going into it, the last few minutes were shocking, right? It was like when he went through the glass and like they were clearly getting shredded by that glass. I was like, like I didn't want to watch that, but at the same time, for me, it was like again, like why am I watching this grotesque bullshit? Like this isn't wrestling. This isn't what I'm here for. And you're giving it to me again. it's again and again and again. It's like you continue to feed me liver, except this time you fed me the bloodiest chunk of undercooked liver.
That's fair. I
And-
mean, I'm not gonna lie. I turned on AEW to watch that match, and it did what, because I thought my man was going to go postal and fuck Jericho up, and I was wrong. He took care of him. I'll give him that, But I don't know, man. Is it worth? Is the network going to think that it's putting on a good show is worth losing ad revenue? And that's really what this comes down to, right? And apparently TNT was okay, with the amount of blood and everything. They got some clearance beforehand and this, that, and the other, but I don't think that anybody suspected that the ad revenue piece was going to come into play.
To be honest, fellas, do you not think that it makes it even more valuable to them that they got this huge internet story out of it by Domino's causing such a fuss?
The truth be told, it makes me want to watch less next week. It really does.
Okay. I mean,
it makes me want to watch.
And I'm sure there's definitely people that think that way as well. I don't know. I don't know what the ratio would be on that.
It's over at 10 o'clock. My kids are still up at 10 o'clock. And yeah, oftentimes enough, I watch with them awake. And for the most part, it's fine. But it's like at 9:30, I have to be like, okay, kids, you can't watch now. And oftentimes enough, I turn it off. And now this is now one of those things where it's just like, now I'm disgusted. Like, it's not just a thing I don't want to watch. I don't want my kids to see. It's like, now I'm disgusted, right? And it's like, this is not
your cup of tea, pal.
It's not wrestling. It's not. Nobody was any good. Like, there was no way Nick Gage was going to win this, right? He's
not going to win any of the labors, or I mean, Jericho's not going to lose any of the labors, I should say.
No, he's not. But this is just going to be. So this was a Jericho's going to win, but now, let's see.
This week,
probably. And you know what? The Hoovy match I'm into, but what? How? Hoovy's what? 47?
Yeah, 50-year-old guys getting in there. It's not going to be the same as it was.
It ain't the same.
94.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was in 94. Those were better matches.
But you know what? I'm still going to watch it. So
I'm gonna watch it, but it's not. I'm now disappointed, and my interest is.
So, Derek, you got anything left on?
No, man. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that Tom's interest has taken a nosedive, while mine has increased steadily.
Well, maybe he and Hoovy can put on a good old man match.
It's gonna be the goal. We're gonna turn it around for Tom. We're gonna turn it around.
I hope so. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I hope they can put on a good old man match.
So, speaking of good old man matches, let's talk about match of the week, guys.
Good old man. Oh, I get to go first. I forgot. That's the gimmick. I get to go first.
That's what you do.
It is what I do. So I have a runner-up. A runner-up. So, yes. The runner-up for me this week was did anybody catch Rhea Ripley? Raw. It was Raw yesterday. Okay. Did anybody catch Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax?
No, I have not watched Monday Night Raw.
I haven't watched Raw yesterday. No.
Oh my! You want to know who can get a good match out of Nia Jax? It's Rhea Ripley, and their match was fantastic because the whole time and Raw commentary has gone up like Raw commentary was a solid 2, like forever. They're a solid 7 right
Jimmy
now.
Smith Jr. is the truth, man.
It's they have Raw commentary to the moon, baby.
To the moon.
Exactly. And they really just sold the crap out of this match. And Graves was great, and Jimmy Smith. Everybody was great. Everybody's great. It was good. It was.
I feel like Saxton's really coming into his own with this trio.
Saxton, yeah. I mean, it's all like Graves is clearly carrying everything, but like the whole dynamic really works. And but for this match particularly, it was really good. The only thing that keeps this from being my match of the week was that there was a slight timing botch at the end, teeny tiny, itsy bitsy, where Rhea Ripley, or no. Rhea's distracted by Shayna, right? Shayna pops up on the ring apron, and Rhea goes to get mad at Shayna. It's probably honestly Nia's fault. Nia goes at her a little bit late. Rhea's way out of the way. Like Rhea's already dove out of the way. And, Shayna sits there and kind of gets bumped off a little bit. It's not the greatest. Like, the camera swishes back real fast. And then Rhea rolls her up. And that's the win for Rhea, it was a great match before. They really beat the crap out of each other. And to have Rhea versus Nia, like, there's never been really a, like, powerhouse versus powerhouse match in the women's division, at least not that I've seen lately. And anyway. So what happens after this match, though, is sort of the breakup between Nia and Shayna, which I think is great because now I want to see what they do on their own because they're not a great tag team. They're going to be way better on their own. But that's my runner-up. My personal favorite match, and you guys are going to be shocked by this because it's also from Raw, but it's Nikki, ASH, almost a superhero, versus Charlotte. It was the main event from Raw. And it was also no holds barred, but it was not this weird pizza cutter bullshit match. It was two wrestlers who are actually good at wrestling. Charlotte has never looked better. Charlotte looks now better than she ever has in the ring, period. She looks amazing. And Nikki looked good as always. And it was a great match. And Nikki basically got battered this whole match. And Charlotte, she dove out of the way. Charlotte was going to spear her through a table. Nikki dove out of the way. Charlotte put herself through the table. And then Nikki did the hanging, like, twisting neck breaker thing. And, I mean, it was all crisp. Charlotte carried the match. She really did. But it was a solid win for Nikki. And it was just good. It was the main event. And, Raw this week was actually worth watching, which I feel like is a hard thing to say because it hasn't been for a long time. The other one I want to point out, though, real quick, is there was a match between Ricochet and Damian Priest versus Sheamus and John Morrison, and it wasn't the best match ever. It showcased Ricochet a lot. John Morrison is literally the best person to ever lose a match ever. It's like just his selling is he makes everybody's moves look like they're a god, and it was amazing. And it wasn't a great match. It was pretty short. The Miz got he was in a wheelchair, and he did some Miz in a wheelchair. It was a very much like fluff gimmick match type of like it doesn't mean anything, so that's why it doesn't mean anything. But man, was it fun to watch. And it's Pretty Ricky, Mr. Ricochet, always fun to watch. John Morrison, always fun to watch. Damian Priest looked good. Sheamus looked good. I love Sheamus. It was good. But anyway,
Derek,
wins, guys. Sorry, I watched Raw.
You're good. That's awesome.
It was a fun show, and I think you guys should go at least watch those three matches. The rest of it, whatever. But yeah, watch those three.
I'll check it out.
I actually did watch this same Raw that you did. I just can't get over on the Nikki Ash thing, man. I don't like it. It's stupid.
I like her as a human.
Sure, I'm sure she's wonderful, super nice lady, but not a great gimmick.
It's not the best, but it's it was the best match she's been in.
Who am I to judge though? Because we all know that I watch old Snagglepuss out here with a cutter, and I'm in my zone. I'm having a ball. It's a great time. Nobody seems to agree with that. I'm not going to give that my match of the week, though, because that's too obvious. Instead, what I'm going to go with is Adam Cole and Bronson Reed, the main event from NXT.
That was fantastic, too. That was honestly the only match in NXT that I was like, man, this is great. right?
It really was, yeah. NXT was kind of weak, other than the turn from Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, that was
That
good
I'm
too.
excited for. I'm excited for
Yeah.
that because I enjoy
It
me
was-
some
Yeah,
Dakota
that's
Kai
gonna be a lot
stuff.
of fun.
Those
Yeah.
were the two highlights. Otherwise, NXT was throwaway.
So what
mean, it was
came out of
fine, but it was-
yeah, I mean, but it wasn't, some earth-shattering huge event.
Hell.
But yeah, little man meat wrestling action there at the end of NXT. Tom with his signature man meat moves. And yeah, it was good stuff. But also, of course, I love the death match. It's good stuff. I also enjoyed and I know you guys hated this, but the intro of the little battle royal in AEW's leadoff match between the Dark Order and the Bullet Club wannabes, whatever we want to call them at this point.
That was fine. It was.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
The right way to start It was the right way to start the evening. It wasn't like it's nobody's match of the week, but it wasn't a bad start of the show.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, what do you got, buddy?
He's so irritated with us.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not irritated with you. Your name's not Nick Khan or Vince McMahon. You didn't fire Bray Wyatt.
No.
Story.
When the man's in the best shape of his life, I mean, I showed you guys that picture. Like, it's the best shape he's ever been in. My match of the week was Reginald versus Chad Gable for the 24/7 championship.
You're right.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun match.
How good are both of those men?
Like, Reginald's really kind of coming into his own, man, and he's flippy dippy, and does all the cartwheels and shit. But it worked in this match with Chad Gable, and then Otis launched him from the center of the ring over the top rope, and he did his little handstand cartwheel front roll thingy and came in and got the win. It was pretty good. But I also really enjoyed Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Listen,
I almost went with that.
I'm all for.
It was too obvious.
I'm all for Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, man. I'm really digging their little tag team chemistry that they've got going on, and their little shtick, their non-shtick shtick. I'm really into. It's just fun to watch, man. And you know what? I'm in here. I'm salty as fuck, but there was still some good matches on TV this week, and it's just unfortunate that we're not going to get to enjoy, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, whatever, however you want to slice it. But I'm not going to sit here and keep dwelling on that. So
it's almost like it's the pride before the fall. We're sort of at that point, right? The pride before the fall of they canned Bray Wyatt now. Who's the next person that just sort of is just like, I'm just not watching this crap anymore. Yeah, what's the next one? Is it Kevin Owens? Is it? I mean, who's the next one?
Please
wild.
Just release Kevin Steen. Let him go to AEW.
Yeah, that's all Derek wants.
Fill my roster. It's like a fantasy booking shit going on over here.
We got fucking Tony Khan on the show today. Fill my roster.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. Thanks for your checkbook, Dad.
Yeah, well, they can release Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss and a bunch of other bunch of other garbage wrestlers to make some
Peter Avalon. Room. Please get rid of Peter Avalon.
Peter Avalon. Who else?
Nice guy. Very nice guy from what I can tell in interviews and whatnot.
At this point, they can release Brian Cage. They can release Taz, probably Jake the Snake Roberts.
They can get rid of. They just signed Jake to a 2-year extension, pal.
Yeah, they did.
All right, well then they can't release him.
No, not yet.
They can get rid of Team Taz with the exception of Ricky Stark because I think that dude's got star written all over him.
Yeah, I mean, get rid of the rest of Team Tags. God, how bad is Hobbs? How loser is Hobbs? Right?
Man, he had so much potential, and then I just don't know what happened.
What a wet fart. They can get rid of Matt Hardy and all of his guys.
They won't.
They won't. I mean, they can get rid of his guys. Maybe keep Hardy. The best friends, they can go. Just keep Orange Cassidy. Trent's been hurt for 6 years now. He's just get rid of him. Forget him.
Well, that's the difference though, that they're not the WWE pals. So
oh right. I forgot. Yeah. They don't just fire guys that have been hurt forever. They didn't fire Shawn Michaels for 8 years. He was hurt.
Yeah,
but
Actually, they gave him a pay raise while he was gone.
They sure did. Hey,
So.
Sean, good job. Good job being hurt. Here's a raise.
Yeah, well.
Thanks. I haven't wrestled in 6 years. We'll see. This is the crossroads in wrestling.
It's a very pivotal week. I feel like next week's show we're gonna have a lot more to talk about. We're gonna have a lot of good matches this coming week.
We'll either have more or nothing.
Yeah. That seems to be the trend these days.
Yeah.
So.
We might, if it's nothing, I say we cut a quick little show and be like, nothing happened this week. Don't watch wrestling, and we just cut it.
Yeah. Well.
Don't watch wrestling.
There was nothing.
We can
Go
even
start a fight at Walmart.
That could just be a tweet, honestly.
Yeah, but that would require Derek to open Twitter on his
You
phone.
have the Twitters.
I mean, I'll do that every once in a while.
You got them Twitter handles. Is it still a handle?
Derek's about to expand onto the Facebook because that's where he normally resides and is comfortable within.
The book of the face.
I think that it's time for the book of the face.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
So.
We need to start sharing this stuff on them wrestling pages with all the marks.
We do.
Just share it. And the marks will watch it and be so mad at us and share it again.
If you share it, the marks will come.
So
fuck it,
we're gonna go full mark. So
if you share.
All right.
So.
Well, good shit, pal. I enjoyed this show, even though I'm fucking pissed off, but better to be pissed off.
Minutes.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on, so they tell me.
Peace out, you salty bitch.
Well,
you could have done way worse stuff when you got home. You could have came home and just been like, God damn it, I don't have anything fun to look forward to.
Oh, I got something real fun to look forward to, pal.
We'll go.
I'm getting there.
All right.
I'm getting there. All right. Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, you know that we exist. Please like and subscribe. Check us out wherever you consume your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast, all that shit. We're on all of it. Check us out. Help us out.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Listen,
Tell your friends' mom.
We're not the greatest wrestling podcast in the universe, man, but at least we're fucking honest. And that's kind of really what it comes down to.
We're better than most of them.
Yeah.
Hey, we bring you content every week too.
That's it.
We're better
except for whenever Derek gets drunk and passes out on his couch.
Sometimes that has happened.
So
not gonna lie.
Follow us on social media, both Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. We would really appreciate that. And overall, yay wrestling, right? So with that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
Peace.
He's got the whole world.